seconds and counting. Team.
Hey, what's up, guys? Clutch State Entertainment here. I'm Drew, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans, and they have made a couple moves to their roster as they've been getting that roster ready for Week 1 against the Colts. First, we're going to talk about the players that they have signed. They have signed Chris Conley, Royce Freeman, and Isaac Yiadom. And if those names sound familiar, well, they are, because the Texans released these three guys just a couple days ago, but now all three of them are back after they had to make some corresponding moves in which they had to place these guys on short term to just injured reserve in general. When you got rookie linebacker Christian Harris, rookie tight end Tegan Quitoriano, and defensive back slash nickel Tavier Thomas, who the Texans really, really like. But Tavier Thomas and all two of these guys could be working their way back to the team very, very shortly. But for now, they're going to be on IR. But let's talk about the guys that they re-signed. Chris Conley, as you know, was pretty much our wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 last year, and he had a pretty solid season. He had 22 receptions for 323 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 long touchdowns, if you remember. One was on a flea flicker, and one was a long pass in the Chargers game. So he has a little bit of connection with Davis Mills there. So it's good to have him back. Of course, the Texans now have 6 receivers after they added Tyler Johnson from waivers the other day. So it's good to have another vet like Chris Conley back on the roster. And then Royce Freeman, who they chose to keep on the active roster over Marlon Mack, who's going to be on practice squad. Marlon Mack for the Texans last year had 35 carries for 92 yards, which is good for only 2.6 yards per attempt, which is not very good. But as we all know, the Texans' running game last year was, well, not good. But Royce Freeman should have a decent role in this offense, as they're probably going to be going with at least backup running back by committee. Not exactly sure who the backup's going to be, but I feel like all three of them, Dare, Freeman, and Burkhead, are all going to be getting carries. And we also saw Freeman take reps at fullback in the preseason. He's going to be used in kind of a little bit of a utility kind of place there. So we'll see what they do. That would be really interesting to see. And then we have Isaac Yiadom, a player the Texans really, really liked. There was a lot of chatter about him in the preseason, about how he was possibly a diamond in the rough, a guy they just signed. But he's got a lot of potential. He is 6'2", about 6'2". He's got his arms are 32 and 1/4. So he's got super long arms, super physical corner. He had a couple pass deflections in the past preseason game. He's only 26 years old. He's going to pretty much be your backup outside cornerback. So that's something to look out for, as we have cornerback Steven Nelson as the cornerback 2 right now. But if Isaac Yiadom plays well, I could 100% see him taking over that spot. And of course, if Steven Nelson gets injured, he's going to have to step in there, because it looks like the Texans are wanting to keep those guys like MJ Stewart, Desmond King, and Tavier Thomas all in the nickel spot this season, as where we saw last season. You saw Desmond King playing outside corner, which went okay, but obviously Desmond King, as we know, is a slot specialist. He's known for that. He's really good at it. So we're going to need another guy to step out on the outside, and Isaac Yiadom can do just that. And for the guys that are on IR, Christian Harris, it's unfortunate to see. He should be back relatively soon. Most people in the Texans organization are not worried about this being a long-term injury. It was more of like, he's just not ready for Week 1 against the Colts. He's going to eventually be back. The Texans really like what they saw from him. Remember, Conley was like, he's literally one of the fastest linebackers I've ever seen. And that's exactly what the Texans need out of this defense. And eventually, Christian Harris will be playing on this defense. Super excited about that. Tegan, he's just been dealing with some injuries through the camp and preseason a little bit. He did have a touchdown in the Week 2 preseason game against the Rams, but it seemed like he got banged up a little bit again. But don't expect that to be long term. And Tavier Thomas, saw Aaron Wilson come out with a report saying that he might be iffy for the Colts game. I wouldn't necessarily think the Texans are going to rush them back, as they do have a lot of depth at that nickel position, like I was talking about. You have Desmond King, you have MJ Stewart, who can come down there, even Jalen Pitre. that you can put in that slot role. So that's probably one of the deepest positions that the Texans have. So I don't think that they're too worried about that. And one last move is as they did add Paul Quessenberry, the fullback, to their practice squad. Another player that they really liked. As you saw, the first fullback they cut was Andy Jankovic, and they kind of let Quessenberry and Troy Harrison kind of play it out. Harrison won the job, but Quessenberry will be on the practice squad. He's a good player to have there and someone that they could potentially bring up at any moment. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the signings down below and what you want to see the Texans do next. And I'll see you next time. Peace.